you, Jennings.
Hello, Tracy. A little early for cocktails, even for me. And good heavens, it's a martini.
Will you mind your own business?
There's a pitcher of martinis in the living room,
Oh,
sir.
thank you, Jennings.
I'm looking for my phone book. Do you mind?
What's the matter, Tracy? Knickers in a bit of a twist, are they?
You are so irritating, Ashton.
Worried about your frozen assets, perhaps?
Why don't you join the rest of the family in the living room?
Or is it possible that the idea of facing treason charges is just a trifle upsetting?
Don't be ridiculous. I had absolutely no idea what Nicholas Van Buren was going to do with the damn tankers.
Obviously, the courts don't agree with you, Tracy. Steady on, Alan. She's just a little upset.
I can see you on the gallows now. What a picture. What would be even better is to see you flat broke, Tracy. You see, Nicholas Van Buren had no idea what a favor he was doing me when he roped you into selling those tankers.
Hit him.
Sorry, darling. I'm a guest.
You'd like better than to see me in prison.
That's where you belong. You stole $5 million from the
I
family.
did not steal $5 million. It was a finder's fee, and there's nothing illegal about that.
The courts don't happen to agree with you,
Well,
Tracy.
the courts are wrong. Would it be too much to ask for a little privacy?
Planning on flying down to Rio? Don't bother. The authorities will find you wherever you go, Tracy.
And they're going to find out that I have done nothing wrong, and they will eventually release my funds.
Your funds? They belong to ELQ.
Really? What perverted logic got you to that thinking?
Children,
That's Mother.
Yes, Mother?
Yes, Mother.
I have had quite enough of this endless bickering between the two of you. It must stop. Now, tonight, we're all going to sit down to a friendly family dinner.
Oh, sorry, Mother. I can't sit at the same table with him.
If she won't be there, I'll be delighted to come.
You will be there, whether you're delighted or not. And Tracy, this is not an invitation, it's an order. You're going to be nice to one another, at least for one dinner.
You're asking for the moon, Lila.
I know, dear. You know, I think we behave better when we have an outside guest. Ned, dear, would you see if that nice girl, Dawn, can join us for dinner?
I'd be happy to.
She's here so often, I'm beginning to think of her as family. How about you, Monica?
What are you talking about, Tracy?
I'd like to think of her as part of the family, that's for sure.
Oh, and Larry, I'd like you here for dinner, too.
Oh, he's definitely not part of the family.
There was a time when he was. And a very happy time it was, too.
There was never a happier time, Mother.
I want this sniping at each other to stop. I want you all to shape up for dinner.
If you'll excuse me, Grandmother, I'm going to go to the hospital and pick up Dawn.
I've got to go as well. I've got a patient to look after. I won't be long.
Claudio Maldonado.
Yes, rumor has it he's mixed up with Nicholas Van Buren.
Well, is there anything wrong with that?
Ask your beloved daughter. Excuse me.
Not that it's anything unpleasant.
He has a sick mind, Mother. Oh, Alan, dear, just a moment, please. You, my friend, are living in a dream world, and any time I want, I can turn it into a nightmare.
Why? The authorities don't have anything on me.
I don't need the authorities. I can cut you down with my own little hatchet.
You know, you can always tell when you're losing your cool, Tracy. That's when you make idle threats. Excuse me.
Bully!
Oh, good. I'd like to have a word with all of you before we go into dinner. Ned and Dawn are already with Lila in the dining
A
room.
word about what, Monica?
I would like us to make a supreme sacrifice tonight to be nice to one another for Lila's sake.
Well, that's easy for me. I'm a guest, and besides, I have impeccable manners.
Oh, you pompous fool. Are you including yourself in this little supreme sacrifice?
Of course I am, Tracy.
Alan?
I'd do almost anything for Mother.
That word almost worries me.
Means if you attack me with a carving knife, I'm going to defend myself. That's what I mean by almost.
Oh, fine. I understand. Well, I will certainly give it my best shot.
Good show, Tracy.
Let's give it the old college try.
Come on, then.
Good evening, dear.
Oh, Mother, my darling.
Hello.
Hello, Mother. You certainly do look lovely.
Thank you, dear.
That color is most becoming on you.
Dawn! Ned, darling. Good evening.
Hi, well, don't you look pretty, darling?
I think this was a wonderful idea, Mother. Very nice. Nice family dinner.
Yes, we should do this more often. A pleasant dinner is so much better for one's digestion.
I certainly agree.
Certainly hope that that table setting there is not a memorial to Father.
You're not doubting your mother's mental faculties, I hope.
Sometimes I do.
Will Mrs. Baldwin be late, ma'am?
Oh, Jennings, I forgot to tell you. She has another dinner engagement tonight. But you might as well leave her place.
See?
Your roses are beautiful, Grandmother.
Thank you, dear.
How much longer do you think those will be blooming?
Well, unless we have a very early frost, I should get another very good batch in October. But of course, one never knows.
Roses are Lila's passion. Do you know anything about them?
Well, yeah, my mother had
Thanks
a
very
rose
much.
garden, and I learned how to prune them and to feed them.
Oh, you're a lucky girl. I think gardening really enriches one's life. Oh, incidentally, Tracy,
Yes, Mother.
the cook has prepared us a lovely dinner tonight, and she says it's one of your favorites, roast duckling.
Oh, yum, yum, Mother. It is my favorite.
How fitting. Last supper for the condemned woman.
Well, it was nice while it lasted.
I'd love to hear from Ned and Dawn about their plans for converting Windermere into a resort.
Yeah, I hope you don't mind running a hotel, Ned. You certainly won't be running ELQ.
Oh, that's quite enough about that silly Major.
You know, you shouldn't count your chickens as long as I'm his mother.
Listen, you're not going to do him any good. Your assets are frozen. As a matter of fact, Ned, you better hang on to your money. You may need it to bail her out of jail.
Tell me, Dawn, do you know anything about running a hotel?
Well, I was, when I was 16, I was a waitress in a summer inn near my house.
Oh, of course, the waitress. Wonderful.
I waited tables when I was growing up in the convent.
Oh, this gets better and better. On your days off from the hospital, you can go to Windermere and make beds.
Until Iona signs the final papers on the deal, we won't be doing anything on Spoon Island.
May the gods of high finance smile upon you, my son. What on earth do you know about running an inn?
Terry's a prime example of someone who can, without a lot of experience, run a business and do very well.
Excuse me, dear, but according to my sources, Terry O'Connor is an extremely wealthy young woman.
Is that true? Yes, it is. She's so lovely and so young.
Coffee and brandy will be served in the living room.
I don't think I'll join you. I've had quite enough of this family for one night. That doesn't include you, dear, or you, Ned.
You were at your absolute worst tonight.
No, darling, I don't think so. I could have been much worse, and you know it, Father Lawrence.
If you wish to continue your bickering, the living room is all yours.
Good night, Mother.
Good night, Lila.
Mother?
Ah, peace and quiet.
Oh, spoke too soon.
Just come from saying goodnight to Mother, and she's extremely upset about the dinner table tonight.
Well, she has every right to be.
And politicking Mother isn't going to save you from the
I
slammer.
was not politicking.
Because if the feds don't get you on treason, I'm going to nail your butt to the wall with a civil suit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yes, you do, Tracy.
Come on, Alan, don't bait her. Tracy, why don't you just go away?
This is my home, Monica, too. My family home.
Actually, it isn't. I own this house. If it weren't for Lila, I'd think about selling it. We could get a one-bedroom apartment. It doesn't have any guests.
Oh, really, Monica? You didn't claw your way to the top for a one-bedroom apartment?
Well, values change as one matures.
Give it up, Tracy. Your days are numbered.
You don't have a case for a civil suit, Alan.
Oh, you think so, huh? You had no right to that finder's fee for selling the tankers. If Nicholas Van Buren had come to the board, we could have made a much better deal, and that was including the $5 million. But he couldn't do it. He couldn't come out in the open. So that finder's fee for $5 million was not a finder's fee, Tracy. It was a payoff.
Payoff?
Yes, for keeping his name out of it.
Oh. Things are looking rather grim for you, Tracy, aren't they?
Don't be ridiculous. When Ned becomes the CEO of ELQ, there's no way he's going to prosecute his own mother.
That's assuming he wins the contest, Tracy.
Oh, he'll win, Alan. As a matter of fact, if you look down, I think you'll see the rug being pulled out from underneath your feet. Watch it.
Ah.
I agree, the same.
It's actually kind of nice everybody ran out. It's nice to be alone with you.
Yes, the same way. It's nice to be with you, too, darling. And I must say, there were one or two redeeming features about dinner tonight.
There were?
Yeah, I love the way you protected Dawn from Tracy.
Well, I didn't succeed very well.
No. She knew she had you on her side.
I don't know if you noticed it, but there's something very, very special about that girl.
I agree. Really a shame we never had a daughter so she could inherit some of your wonderful qualities.